Greetings. Welcome back to my channel. I am your girl, Shea Dollar Don. You could call me Shea. You could call me Dollar Don. Just be respectful. All right? Be respectful, because mutual respect goes a long way, people. They do. It does. It does. I had a long day. But I do have some messages to get out today. This is going to be for somebody specific. And of course, you know, if you relate to the message, it's just because this message found you. Okay. The first thing I saw was a jaw. I saw somebody's jaw, and I saw like a molar, like a back of the tooth. I heard it crack in half. So, ouch. Somebody needs to go to the dentist. I also saw like the tooth being spit out, you know, and all the fragments came out with the tooth too. So maybe you need to get it cleaned. Maybe you need a teeth cleaning. Maybe you just need to see a dentist. Just get that done, okay? Your smile is beautiful. Take care of it. All right. You know, for my Caribbean people, sometimes when we say like when your teeth drop out is not a good sign. It's not a good sign. It's not a bad sign. Sorry, it's a bad sign. It's not a good sign, as I was saying. It means like a great loss. While that tooth was coming out, even though like, you know, you go to the dentist, you do need to extract the tooth, there was a lot of blood. I also saw this. I saw a lot of blood. But you know, after I saw the blood, I saw a tribe walk in. Ancestors. I know not everybody believes in ancestors. Not everybody believes in angels. Not everybody believes in the Most High. But you have some type of belief. You do. Everyone does. Even if you decide to believe nothing. That's still a choice. Right? The ancestors were wearing all red. They were in print red. Like some of them had red and white. But maybe red is your favorite color. Maybe you did something that has to do with blood, red, something, sacrifice, something. But when I saw your ancestors walk in, I saw most of them were vexed. They were upset. Some of them walked in like this, like, don't touching my baby. Yeah, they don't play. They really don't play. Okay. I also saw it was by water. Maybe you live near water. Okay. I also saw like a big building. Maybe you live where there's a lot of big buildings. When I say big buildings, I'm not talking 3 stories, 4 stories. I'm talking big buildings, like maybe 8 stories, 7 stories plus. Okay, so maybe you live near a big building. And I wanted to like relay this message that your tears are being collected. Your cries are being heard. Your stress, I'm sorry that you're going through a lot of stress, a lot of weight, feels heavy, but you ain't going through it for nothing. Sometimes we go through a lot of stressful situations because it actually develops us. Truth be told, sometimes it really developed us. I went through a stressful situation not too long ago, okay? And then I heard it's to build you, right? Because some of us are so nonchalant, you know? Some of us are so laid back. Some of us are using a lot of substances too, where it blocks out those feelings of being pissed off or being happy or just being in touch and in tune of who we are. So be careful of the substance using or overdoing it. You know, nobody telling you to quit unless that's how you feeling. Maybe you do need to quit, or maybe you need to take a break. Sometimes breaks are good. Breaks are healthy. Too much of one thing is not good for you. Diversify. Diversify. That's your word for the day. I feel like, what's that show? Sesame Street. The letter of the day is D. Diversify. All right. The color of the day is red. Blood. All right. Some of you guys are also saying a lot of your prayers. You know, I got some prayers listed here. I felt Psalms 56, Psalms 91, Psalm 70. You know, someone's begging, pleading, and remember when your tears are dropping with your prayers, your prayer is being heard. There's something connected to you at that very moment that's feeling you, and you're feeling it. right? Could be the Most High. It could be your angels that are telling you they're there. You're not alone. And sometimes that they're there is going, oh, Lord, you know, that's okay. Cry. I had a friend tell me the other day, she was holding in her tears. I said, to impress who? We just started laughing because she was like, bitch, you right. Tears is how you release. Sorry for my language. You know, sometimes my mouth gets away from me. Like that tooth. That tooth got away from somebody. Right? So sometimes you do need to cry. Sometimes you do need to take a spiritual bath. Think about the elements, okay? Air, water, earth, fire. You know, those tears, whatever seeds you plant in, those tears are sowing, nourishing, watering what you are trying. And I know sometimes it gets really, really hard and you're like, man, but I've been sowing my seeds for the last 7 years and I haven't been able to, you know, cultivate, harvest, nothing yet. But that's okay because that's a part of the journey. It really is. It really is a part of the journey. You know, I remember I had a cousin and at his wedding, his brother had some lyrics. And he goes, you ever seen a rose? The rose got those thorns, you know? So that journey is to remind you, like, sometimes it's not going to be easy, but the outcome is just so beautiful. And that was deep. That was deep. It made sense to me. Maybe I hope it makes sense to you, but it made sense to me. You know, so the journey's not easy. But you don't walk alone. You don't. You got some real heavy hitters in your corner that are pissed off. They don't like that you're getting hurt. They don't like that you crying for the same reasons over and over. Every time they try to send you something good, and like free will's still a thing. So even when they think they are sending, even when they're not that they're thinking, but even when the goal is to send you something really great, something good, you know, life can happen. People change their minds. Situations may not come out the way you want it to, but don't worry. You know, God has the last laugh. That's how I think, and that's how I feel about it. If you ever want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Or sometimes you just got to give it up and get something better, right? Because sometimes the apology for what you're supposed to get didn't come through. So the apology, should get a lot greater, okay? So if you're thinking about getting that new apartment and God want to put you in a penthouse, God wants to put you in a house. God wants you to be in a mobile home because maybe you are the type of person that doesn't need to stay stationary. Maybe you're meant to travel. Maybe you are meant to go to a lot of places, okay? Maybe you're meant to minister to a lot of people. Tell them how you went through and overcame a lot of your own pain and your own struggles. And that way you can just find that, maybe just that one person. I don't even care if it's one person, okay? Maybe that one person needs to know how you overcame, and they get that fire and they get that encouragement to overcome. That's what we're doing, okay? You know, a long time ago, I was supposed to be doing a lot of these messages, but I wasn't moving in my calling at the time, and there was because I had a lot to learn. I still had a lot more to go, but I would still get my visions, and I would still get, you know, the sounds, the clear audio, clairvoyance, clear cognizance, and I would still know. But I would do it with people that I trust because I was still sensitive. I'm still sensitive. I'm a Piscean. I'm a water sign. We sensitive creatures. We emotional. We are. All right. So once again, that was my message for today. I'm really sorry to the person that is going through a hard time. You know, you are loved. You are not alone. Don't try to feel like you got to go and do something dangerous to yourself because you don't. You don't. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to come back, check out my channel so you can hit the like button. I'm just playing. I want you to leave a comment instead. Right. So it gets better. It gets better. And you have people working on your behalf in the spirit world and maybe in this physical world, but you just don't know because you're so busy in your emotions. But feel your emotions. I don't want you to ignore them. Feel them and let that emotion help you grow to be the beautiful rose that you're meant to be. All right. Once again, I'm Shea. I am an intuitive seer. I have the gifts of clear audio, clear visual, clear cognizance, and other gifts too that I work with some of my friends and families, because the Most High has showed me that we do carry these gifts. And some of us, it's time for us to tap in. So go ahead and hit that like button, tap in, leave some purple hearts, all right? Leave some stars, you know, leave a kind comment for that person that's not feeling their best, but they need encouragement to know that it does get better. All right. Love you guys. Take care.